thank you especially for your presence, but perhaps more especially for your prayers. Celia, I'm keenly aware from many stories that I've heard from her friends, especially at St. Thomas Aquinas Parish, was someone who believed in the power of prayer. So many people gathered here today. We've got a powerhouse of prayer focused on her. I was just talking to Carlos just a little bit ago, Celia's boyfriend, and she was saying that she perhaps didn't like attention or didn't like people focused on her, and his reply to that was, "That's bold. Well, I can't finish it because I'm a priest," but but we focus our attention on her today for a couple of reasons. Number one, because her life is an inspiration to us in how she lived her life of love and joy. But also we focus on her with our prayers, that we know that after our passing from this life here on earth, we have the hope of eternal life in heaven. And so let us just take a brief moment of silence to open our hearts in prayer.
She was extraordinary, and I was blessed to have her as a student. When I think of how to describe Celia, there's the part of her life that was incredibly happy. She would light up a room with her smile. When I think about how hard she worked in her classes, her hard-working ethic was extraordinary as well. And at the same time, she was remarkably humble. Celia was in our classrooms, when I'd look her way, it was not uncommon for her to smile. And those of you that are engineers in the audience, you might find that unusual. It's not common for faculty to look in the audience and see a student smiling. But she traveled a lot, and we worked hard. But she was committed on both levels of academics and athletics. And those of us that had her in class, we loved her dearly.
I'm here to talk about the beautiful life of Celia Barquin Orosamena, our friend. I had the pleasure of meeting Celia just 1 year ago. This may not seem like long, but if you knew Celia, you would know, or you would understand, how easy it was to become good friends with her. We both shared majors in civil engineering, and as a consequence, many of the same classes. I soon came to find out about Celia's uplifting personality, her incredible work ethic, and her stellar golf skills. But I'm not so sure any of these characteristics can really sum up who she was. So I will do the best that I can to tell you of how I knew her. One day, Celia and I were grabbing coffee, and I asked her about her story. She proceeded to tell me about how she'd been raised in Spain by her parents, who did everything they could to provide her with the opportunity to become a successful golfer. She would even skip school sometimes just to get some extra practice in. Eventually, she found herself playing the sport, not because she was passionate about it, but because she desired to support her family. She expressed to me how she had felt empty and lost. This conversation led to a discussion of faith. Faith in a God who cared deeply and passionately about her. And that day, Celia chose to pursue a Christian life. I'm sharing this with you because it was part of who she was. Her newly found faith permeated throughout her life. It inspired her to play golf, not because she needed to, but because she saw it as a wonderful gift she had been given. It was a part of that energy and fire you could see within her each and every day. She carried that zeal to everyone she met. In fact, last spring, she shared with me how she had tried reaching out to a member on her team that was feeling removed and alone. Celia said she remembered what it was like feeling alone as she had come to the United States. This was the kind of person Celia was, and the type of person she should be remembered as.
So it's impossible task to capture the essence of Celia in a few minutes, but I'm going to give it my best. Celia refused to be conformed to the standards of our society and our generation. In a generation that lacks commitment, Celia was the most committed person that I knew. Many know of her commitment to golf and how she would wake up all by herself every morning at the crack of dawn to go play golf, to get better, to be just a better golfer for the sport that she loved. But it was her commitment to her relationships with people and the Lord that amazed me even more. She somehow, in her crazy schedule, would find time every week for her small group, time with me, her friends, her boyfriend, her family, and prayer. Celia knew that commitment was not a hindrance to her freedom, but an opportunity to love people so deeply. Another way Celia refused to be conformed to our generation's way of thinking was displayed by her unbelievable faith. Celia was extremely humble and would mostly let other people in our small group talk. But when she did chime in, it would be the most crucial moments, and everybody would just stare at her, and it would be complete silence as we just tried to contemplate the wisdom that she spoke. One of the last things she said to me when I asked her about the secret to her success as a golfer was, "I work really hard, and then I pray a lot. I talk to God the entire time I'm on the course." And then she looks at me and says, "Anna, I know I couldn't do this without him." Celia's life was a prayer. She lived her faith so simply. Jesus was her friend. It wasn't complicated. Celia's friendship with Jesus was what lit a fire in her, a joy for life, compassion for others, and a deep desire to know the Lord more. It formed me into a better person. She brought me so much joy because she knew how to love and how to live. Her wisdom was this: I can do small bits of service to those in need, and if I have love in my heart when I do them, it will be so pleasing to the Lord. This was the kind of person that Celia was. Yes, she was an amazing golfer. Yes, she was a terrific engineering student. Yes, she even died a horrific death. But this does not capture who she was. Celia was a woman of greatness. Great faith, great joy, great love. We're not here just because we're sad or because we're mad. We're here because Celia impacted our lives in a great way. And we can remember that impact. We can share that impact. We can be that impact. Finally, I just want to full-heartedly thank Celia's family for sharing their daughter with us. She's such a gift to so many people. I want to thank you, Carlos, for sharing your girlfriend, the love of your life, with us. I want to thank all of the people that love Celia so much and helped form her into the person that she is, the beautiful woman that she is. If there's one thing that I'm most grateful for from Celia's life, is that she showed me how to not just give up when the competition gets tough. She fought harder, she prayed harder. Every day is going to feel like a competition with our emotions, with our doubts, with our fears, with our confusion. But because of Celia's great faith that she has shown us, I know that we have to keep competing, keep trusting, keep serving, keep loving.
Standing golfer.
May Celia's soul rest in the
But
peaceful embrace of God.
She also dedicated the little free time she had to serving others. Celia was an active participant in the Student Athlete Advisory Committee. Her willingness to engage new members, her participation in numerous community service events, and how she spread happiness made her a true ambassador of the university and what it takes to be a student athlete. Celia's obvious love for being a Cyclone was not hard to understand. We must never forget the way that Celia lived her life. We can carry on her legacy by living every day as she would have.
Every day, we can remember Celia's infectious positivity and smile. We can project it to people who need it the most. Every day, we can go the extra mile to encourage and care for our family, our teammates, and our peers. Finally, every day, we can challenge ourselves to go chase our dreams and be the best version of ourselves, just like Celia did.
Celia was a friend to everyone and beloved by all. When I met her my freshman year, I knew we would be lifelong friends. She came from Spain to the U.S. for school. She spent 2 Thanksgivings with my family at my home in Cedar Rapids. My parents called her their European daughter. She was more than my teammate, roommate, and friend. She was my sister. When I was fortunate enough to live with her, I was greeted each morning by an enormous smile on her face. In our apartment, we had a half American, half Spanish flag hung in our living room, sewn together by her family member in Spain. When I moved out after graduating in May, she gave me the other Spanish-American flag, sewn from the remaining halves. There's not a singular moment that I will cherish. Instead, our relationship is made of hundreds of small, unforgettable moments that still make me smile. I never said it enough during her short life, but if I had one opportunity to speak to her, I know again what I'd say. I love you, Celia.
Celia's teammate for the last 2 years. In the start of the year, the semester, I was a roommate. For anyone that knew Celia, she would be loving all the support we have all received over the past days. She was such a raw person to be around, and that's what made her so unique. Every day, she would walk into practice with her massive infectious smile and give you a massive hug, regardless of whether you wanted one or not. And that little Spanish lady sure can give a good hug. Over the past 6 months, it has been nothing short of amazing for Celia. Celia found the love of her life, Carlos, and little did they realize how much they changed each other's lives. In golf, a week before leaving for Big 12s, she injured her ankle while playing ping pong and went on to be Big 12 champion. And then went on to qualify for the US Open, win the Ladies European Amateur Championships, and recently, within the last month, she made it through the first stage of qualifying school to make it onto the LPGA. And she would have done it too if she had the chance. She had so much left to give in this world, and we were all here, ready, waiting and standing to see her on her journey to be the best golfer that she could be and be the best person that she could be. Rooming with Celia has been the best couple of months I've had at ISU, and in being her teammate, she never failed to make us all laugh with her quirkiness. Celia Barkin, Rosamina, you fly high up there, mate, and we'll be here making you proud. And this Saturday at the football game, we'd all love it if you'd wear yellow to support her, because that was her favourite colour. Thank you.
I'd like to start by just thanking everyone in our community for the outpouring of love and support that we've received. It's been amazing, just from the university, the community, I mean, throughout really the entire country and the entire world. It's really just been overwhelming and so humbling. Northwestern's women's golf team even came down from their tournament just to show the impact that Thel has made on everyone in this world. I think that's one of the neat things that talking about her, we knew about all of you because she was so open. She had such great communication that we knew about her engineering friends. We knew about her professors. We knew about all of you and how deeply she cared for each and every one of you. The relationships that she created were special. They were so dear to her and meant so much. And, we knew about all of you. And I think all of you knew about her teammates and how special they were to her. And I think that's what makes everything about Thel so special. And, we all knew how much she loved her family, her mom, those relationships that she held so dear. And really, what those meant to her. She was so open. She was open with her love. She was open with her,
her love
suggestions
for her family,
for improving,
and,
their love for her and for you, made her so open and warm and confident and loving. And she became all that she was because of, their love and your love. And on our team, we talk a lot about how you become who you surround yourself with. That's one of our big things, be your best because you're going to become who you surround yourself with. She became like her family and like us, and I like to think that, we've all become a little bit more like her as well, just by having her in our lives. Thank you.
It all started 2 years ago with a sangria. We were sitting around a bonfire at Carlos's place, and I had noticed she was mixing sangria with Coca-Cola. I told her, that sounds like a strange mix, and she laughed and told me to try some. Reluctantly, I took the glass she offered me, and I tried it. And to my surprise, it was delicious. She said the drink was called a calimocho, and it was her favorite drink from Spain. I admired her work ethic, and I was impressed with how she was able to excel in both her civil engineering studies and her golf career. She never let her busy lifestyle get in the way of being a kind and helpful person to anyone who needed it. On days where I was overwhelmed with school, she was a calm and warm smile to turn to. As I've been hearing people talk about Celia, the one thing they always mention is her smile. It made a lasting impression the first time I met her, and it will be how we will all remember her in the future. The civil engineering department has experienced a terrible loss. But I know when I see a hopeful smile in town engineering again, I'll be reminded of Celia. She was an exceptional civil engineer, golfer, classmate, and friend, and we'll carry her legacy in our hearts in the civil engineering department. Thank you.
I've been honored by the family her family, to carry her name. And there's one message that her mom has asked me to deliver in person, and she wanted to do it in front of everyone. And that is, Coach, thank you very much for getting her in the team. You have no idea how many doors you opened to this young lady and how thankful everyone is. Thank you very much. We were on the way, and I stopped her and said, hey, let's go to my place. I sat her down and I said, say it already. You know you like me, like you. We both know it. It was the rawest and most violent expression of mutual feelings. And she said, yeah, what now? What do we do? I don't know. We've been friends. What if it is weird? What then? It wasn't weird. It was beautiful. That day, a lot was said. A lot of truth and unspoken words were said. The next day, we were watching something at my place, and it was snowy out. There was snow on the ground. So I walked her to her car, and right as I got there, she grabbed me by the collar, made up for the difference of one head, brought me down to her level, and kissed me. It was an out-of-body experience. I had imagined that moment in so many other ways than that, except that one. And I remember stopping and saying, like, what now? She said, shut up, just shut up. Do it. And then I remember her first words after that. Well, I gotta go to a competition. I'll see you in a week. And they proceeded to leave the best 7 months of my life. I can assure that up until this point, we've left the best 7 months of my life. Cel's mother talked to Coach and I yesterday, and she attests for the same for her. She could see her smile and her eyes. Without words, she was describing to her mother, all is good, we're in good hands, this is where I want to be. Hearing that from a mother mourning is the hardest thing one could do. I'm terribly happy that I could shine, help, enjoy, and live with Cel. Words cannot describe how much I've loved her for a very, very long time. I am extremely happy to have lived the last 7 months. The last days, she was an extremely happy person. I talked to her family on video chat like I was part of them. She talked the same day to my family on video chat, like she was part of my family as well. And to all of you that know it, to a foreign kid out in a different country, the closest family member might be thousands of miles away. There is no line to write of what is family and what isn't. The team alone, the coaches, the Spanish family, the faculty, and every single person that Celia touched, in one extent to another, you've been family to her. I want you guys to go home today with a few things on mind. There are so many good people in this world that shine so bright, that they outcast any wrong action, any. I am extremely proud to be part of this city, this state, and this country, and call ISU our home. I'd imagine Cel could say the same things. She was a cyclone as it could get. You have no idea. There wasn't a day that she wasn't wearing the colors. It was ridiculous. She likes yellow, which, you're halfway there, but she'd go the full way. Just for ISU. If you came with a significant other, please remind them on the way home how much you love them. I am so happy I was able to say it on my way out on Monday morning from home. I'd love all of you to do the same, that have the blessing to have somebody to love that much. On your way home, please call your mother. It sounds something to be so simple, but she has asked me, if you take something from this, call Mom, tell her you love her. It's so easy. It doesn't take a minute. I promise you, she'll be forever grateful. I know she was. Thank you very much for everyone to come. We will play one of our favorite songs, followed